Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. I'm Myra from Low Carb Love. So today we are going to be answering some juicy questions. We are doing a Q&A and we are gonna get right into it. So I have a few questions here, and usually I try to stay away from these questions, but I know that you want to know the details. And I have been thinking about just vlogging my everyday life outside of cooking, but I think about it sometimes. It's so hard, which leads me to my first question. So are you still friends with Donnie? So if you haven't been following me for a while, I was in an 8-year relationship with my ex, Don. And we had a great relationship. We were very, very public. It was amazing. We used to dance around and just do all the things. And I had a blast. We are no longer together. We are great friends. We are business partners. We are very much still in each other's lives. Like, we call just to check up on each other. And so, you know what I mean? Like, we are definitely there. I think a lot of people just assume that we are now enemies, that we are not, that we just are not cordial with each other. I have seen comments where I'm like, oh my gosh, like, people just want to make up these crazy stories. But no, the truth is that we are very much friends. We respect each other. I respect his privacy. He respects mine. And no matter what anybody wants to make up on the internet, Don and I are very much friends. Okay. So just to get that out of the way, I am going to be talking a little bit about dating and stuff like that. Okay. Before we get into dating, how's everything going with my house? Okay. So my house, you guys know I bought this house a few months ago. It's been about 3.5 months or so, and I absolutely love it. It's gonna be a labor of love. This house was built in the 80s, so there's a lot of things that still need renovation. Even though it was updated over time, it still needs some major, it needs some major work. I wouldn't say major, but things that I want to live comfortably. This is like my forever home. I see this as this being my forever home. Now, you never know. Life has crazy, you know what I mean? I don't know. Maybe I'll meet someone and move to, I don't know, Canada or something. I'm just kidding. I'm not. But I won't leave. Where I'm at. I love it. I am obsessed with this town. This Laguna Beach is my favorite town in the entire world. My second favorite town is Aspen, Colorado. And that's the only other place where right now, at this point in time, I could see myself buying another home or like a condo or something to live there part-time. But I love here. I love being here. I have been in Laguna for 11 years, and I don't know if I've ever been in the water. I know. I know, that's so crazy, but I just love the vibes. This is such a chill town. Anyway. So I am going to be doing a lot to this house over time. I'm going to be putting in an elevator. I'm changing the decks now. I'm going to be doing the roof. I'm changing the stairway. Like, there is so much that I'm going to do to this house, and it's going to look like a different house once I'm done with it. But I don't mind investing in this home because it is my forever home. Like, this is the house that I want to live in. I want to grow old in. And those are my plans. Hey, if God has other plans for me, then we will see. But for now, that is my plan. And one day I will leave this house for my Nataline, for my daughter. I actually, just about a month ago, I put it in stone. I did my whole will and trust. I was going to different places, and I found a place online called Trust and Will. Do everything online. Super reasonable in comparison to going in to speak to an attorney. Their prices are thousands of dollars. Their will-based packages start at $199, which is super reasonable. So whether you're newly married, you're a parent, a homeowner, this all helps to protect your family. So overall, it just gives me the peace of mind to know that my family is going to be secure. I'll leave the link in the description below. I actually reached out to them. They gave me a discount. So they gave me a 20% discount to share with you guys. Just type in Tube20, so like YouTube, so Tube20, and that gets you 20% off on any package. But yeah, that is something that is really important to me because ultimately, I only have Nati. If I have more children, then that will be, at that point we will decide. But right now I have my Nataline. She's 15 years old. She's super young. She has her whole entire life ahead of her. But one day, hey, it's just the cycle of life. Like one day I won't be here, and I want to be able to give this to her. This will be a memory of me, of us. Yeah, this is like her home right now. And I think that it's just a beautiful thing. And that's just me. That's how I think. That's how I feel. I'm not saying that everyone has to feel that way, but that is definitely my goal ultimately, right? Is to leave this house just like, I just want it to be like a reflection of who I am. And so far, I feel like I've been doing a good job. Like when I walk through and I look back and I'm like, oh, my little house, she's so cozy. And like, I know I could have probably moved to a different city and had like this huge home. And I didn't even want that. Like I really didn't. I've lived in a huge home. If you've been following me for a while, you know that I lived in a really, really big home. It was like almost 9,000 square feet. And it was gorgeous and it was beautiful. And I did not take that for granted. Like I felt like a princess in that home, but ultimately like this is my home and this feels so like, it feels so cozy. And like, I know that again, I know it needs a lot of work, but I just love it. I love it. I do. And I love everything that I'm doing to it. And so I know that my Nati will appreciate that because she sees everything that I'm doing now. And like we talk about our plans and we talk about like doing this and doing that and like putting in like the barbecue area downstairs and planting trees and you know what I mean? So it's just like a lot of little things like that. But yeah, it's a super cool little like project, again, it's like a labor of love. Like, trust me, this is going to go on forever. And hey, I want to bring you along. I'm telling you, I want to start vlogging and just showing you my real life, like who I truly am. And not that you don't know, because obviously I sit here and chat with you all the time. And actually you are one of the only people that know me like this, like where I sit down and I chat and I like talk to you about whatever's going on. And most of it has to do with like health and like weight loss and stuff. But I feel like you really know like a core part of me that like Instagram and like TikTok and like Facebook doesn't actually get to see that side of me, But if I do vlogs, then you would literally like wake up with me and like, let's go do this and let's go out to eat and like, let's travel. And like, ultimately, I mean, I do want to meet someone, I do want to eventually meet someone. And so which leads me to my next question. So are you dating? Now, I feel like this is a very sensitive topic, right? Because I was in a very public relationship and I feel like people fall in love, right? People fall in love with the idea of the relationship and people fall in love and it's really hard to detach from that. But ultimately, I think that like if you love me and you love him, then you want what's best for both of us, right? And I am in a place where I'm like, okay, I know that I wanted a baby. I know that I was going through the whole IVF process. And not because I was having issues with infertility. I just wanted to make sure that we were going to have a healthy baby. He was much older than me. It was like a whole thing. But now I'm also older, right? Like back then I was 38. And so, I'm like, okay, I'm in a place where I'm either going to have children now, 1 or 2 kids is what I would ideally want, or forget about it. And I'm kind of good either way. Like I know I would be so happy having a baby, ideally 2, so that, the kid doesn't grow up alone. But I'm also okay if I don't. I've come to that conclusion. I'm like, okay, I know that I have a lot going on with business. I have a lot going on with my business life. And I also love to travel, and I haven't been able to travel as much as I'd love to because of work. So I think like ultimately I could also do that. Like if I decided to go the route of not having children, or if I just don't meet someone soon enough, to where, you know, I'm just not able to have kids anymore, then I just have to accept that, you know, because ultimately I do believe it's all in God's hands. Like, we can make all the plans that we want, but if that's not what was, you know, written for you, if that's not what your destiny was, if that's not, you know what I mean, then it's not going to happen. So I think, do I want kids? Yes, 100%. Like, I would love to have a baby. I would, of course, I want to meet someone. Like, I do want to meet someone that aligns with me energetically. I am spiritual. I'm more spiritual than religious, but of course I am also religious. I'm just very spiritual. I feel like I am different and like in certain ways. And so to match that energy, I feel like you need to find someone who really aligns with you energetically, you know, aligns with like your love language, aligns with like your love, your love energy. Like, there's just so many things. And so I don't know, what if it takes me 5 years? What if it takes me, you know what I mean, 10 years to find that person? Then it might be too late. But I did think about going through and harvesting, like the egg harvesting process again. It is a bit invasive. I'm not going to lie. I went through it before. You have to like pump your body with a bunch of hormones, and like you get super bloated, and it's like, you know, like this emotional roller coaster. But ultimately it is a security blanket. So I might go through with that and just harvest my eggs in case, you know, I don't meet anyone anytime soon. Then I can have the option. Now, do I want to have kids once I'm like, I don't know, past like 5 years from now? Probably not. Probably not, but you never know. I never know. So that's kind of where I stand with children and with dating. The plan is obviously, as a woman, like, you want to be happy. You want to have a partner. I don't feel like I need someone. I feel like I want someone. But I've done a lot of work. Your girl right here has done a lot of work spiritually, a lot of self-growth. There's a lot that has happened over the last couple of years, and I'm so, so proud of myself. I feel like that's one thing that I will say. If you are in a place similar to mine where you're like, I want to meet someone, you have to meet the person. What's the saying is like, you have to ask yourself, first of all, you have to ask yourself, like, would you fall in love with yourself? Like, do you align with everything that you're looking for in your man? So if you're like, I want a man who is independent. I want a man who gets up in the morning and goes straight to the gym because he's fit. I want a man who eats right. I want a man who is emotionally stable. I want a man who blah, blah, blah. So, you know, we need to be very real with ourselves. Are you emotionally stable? Are you eating right? Are you waking up to go to the gym and, you know, to be the best version of yourself physically? So you want to make sure that you align with what you are basically asking the universe for, right? Because when you are like asking for that, you just need to make sure that you are there as well, because that's how you're going to align with that person. And so I feel like I've done it. I feel like, hey, I've been a little off right now, but with certain things, but I'm getting back on it. Like, so one of the things that I was really off with was, working out. Like, I could not get back into that rhythm, into the routine of like consistently going to the gym. And so finally, I am there and I feel so good. I just want to make sure that I continue with it. I've been doing it now for a few months and not where I want. I've only been going 3 times a week, 2 to 3 times a week, but now I want to go 3 to 4 times a week and ultimately 4 to 5 times a week, depending on, you know what I mean? Because I already know me. I have like an addictive personality. So once I start seeing results, once I start seeing my body change, I'm like, ooh, let's go. Like, you know what I mean? I know me, but I've started seeing like my booties, you know, my glutes are starting to get a little firmer, my legs, and, you know, my cellulite, I could see that's starting to go away a little. And so it's all part of the process. It's all part of the process. And if you want to attract that, if you're asking for that in a man, then you just want to make sure that you are possessing those same qualities, because that's how you're going to align with that person, right? Sometimes like, when you won't meet because you're just not aligning. Like your frequencies are off. So whenever you meet someone and you just vibe and you're like, dude, this is my person, it's because you guys are like, you're energetically aligning. So that's something I don't talk too much about, but if I start vlogging, you will know that that is how my mind works. Like I just am, yeah, I feel like I just think differently than most people. So imagine to meet a man that thinks the same way as me. It's different. Like I don't want to say it's impossible. I don't want to say it's difficult, because we're not gonna put that out into the universe, but it's gonna have to be someone that has worked on himself, someone that has really done that like deep dive into who he is. Yeah, there's gonna be a lot there. So yeah, I'm excited about it. I know it's gonna happen. I know that, I just know, I can feel it. I can almost see it. And that's kind of how I live my life with things. Like if I can visualize it and I can see it, like I already know it's gonna happen. So we're there. Am I currently dating? Yes, we are. We're currently, I definitely am trying to meet someone, not gonna lie. Want someone that aligns with me. We talked about that. So, it might be going on some dates here and there. Co-parenting, Nathy's dad. Nathy's dad he and I are very, very close friends. We align so well when it comes to our daughter. We weren't always like that. I'm not going to lie to you. We had a very, very rough start. Very rough start. Ended up in court. We went through a whole custody battle. It was, oh my God, it was horrible. I literally hated him at one point. So just know that if you hate your baby daddy right now, there's hope for you. But both parties need to want to change. And you always need to have your kid or kids in the forefront. Like they are the priority, not your feelings, not his feelings, I don't like who he's dating, and I don't like that she goes out. None of that matters, because what actually matters are the children. And I'm just going to tell you this, not to get all into detail and go into like my whole, upbringing and stuff, but my parents separated when I was 6 years old, and my parents did such a great job at being cordial in front of each other, of being loving in front of each other. Like I literally thought that my parents were obsessed with each other. Like I literally thought that I won't say that they were together, but like I always saw my dad be there for my mom. My dad picked me up from school every single day and dropped me off at home. He'd take me to go get a burger. Like he would take me to go get my supplies. Like my dad was always there for me. And like I saw so many times when my mom needed her oil changed, and I'm not saying you have to do all this. I'm not saying that. I know that might be a little extra. My point to this is that no matter what was happening on both ends, because my dad was in a relationship and my mom was too, they never let any of their issues, they never allowed me to see any of that. So I grew up thinking, oh my gosh, like my parents love each other. They freaking are obsessed with me. And I grew up so confident and so strong and so like no worries in the world. Like I literally grew up, I don't know. I feel like it has so much to do with why I turned out the way I did. And just turned out to be so like, I know I have a good head on my shoulders, and I know it sounds kind of weird saying it, but I'm just saying that my parents never allowed their issues like to cloud my well-being. You know what I mean? Like it was always about me first. And so I say this because when Matt and I, which is Nathy's dad, when Matt and I were going through it, and we were going through like this whole custody battle, and it was really hard on him. It was actually really hard overall. I told him, look, no matter what happens, you don't ever stop calling, Nathy. Always be there for her. Don't ever talk bad about me. I will never talk bad about you in front of her. I never, ever, ever, ever said anything bad about him to Nathy. Never. No matter how I would cry and I would want to like bust through the windows and like punch a wall or whatever. And like, I never said anything, because sometimes there's a selfish part within us that's like, I want her to know, or like, I want them to know how bad he is. No, you don't, because it's not their fault. it's not the kid's fault. So I don't want to go into this because I know some of you don't have kids, and not even going through this, but I just want you to know like my mentality with co-parenting. And no, your kids always come first. Their feelings, they do not want their parents fighting. They do not want to choose between one or the other parent. They're kids. They just want to feel loved, and they want both of your love. And as long as you provide that for them, they're going to grow up to be in a much better place than had you not done that. So take that for what it is. You guys see Nati. Nati is, yeah, she's my 15-year-old. That girl is so confident. I cannot even tell you. She adores her dad. And I love that she adores her dad. Like, I love it. I know she adores me. You know, if anything, she's more of a daddy's girl, you know? So, but I don't feel like in any way do I feel jealous about that. Like, I love that she has that relationship with her dad. And I know the closeness that we have. And sometimes I feel like she's more affectionate with him, but there's nothing inside my being that makes me want to like, or makes me feel jealous about that. You know, I don't know. Maybe it's just, I don't know what it is, but like, I just love it. I love that for her. I love that for us. I love it. You know what I mean? Just overall. So that's my take on co-parenting. I know I went on that a little long, but yeah, other than that, mom life, you already know my girl and I are like this. Nati and I don't know. I want to say we do have a mom and daughter relationship, but I sometimes feel like we have a sister relationship as well. So yeah, I think at this point, I feel like I want to just hear from you. Let me know what you think. Give me your thoughts on everything. Let me know about this vlog channel if you want to come along with me on travel. If I meet someone, like, you know what I mean? I don't know if I ever want to be public again with a relationship, but I just love it. I think I've gotten so used to just sharing my life with you. And for the most part, I feel very loved. I do have, you know, the few people that just feel like they have to say something about my life and just speak negatively about, you know, about certain things. And it is what it is. That doesn't bother me. I care about you. I care about, you know, like my actual tribe that's here that loves me like family and knows me for who I am, you know, because you do. I sit here, I talk to you, I open my heart out to you. I pretty much just spill everything on the table, especially when it comes to like body and health and all that. So I do, want to be like your bestie where we just like, you know, I'm waking up with you, I'm talking to you, we're going out to eat, we're going out to shop, we're going out to, you know, I don't know, Mexico, to Europe, whatever, and let's see what life brings our way. But I'm so excited. I'm excited for this next chapter, you know. I don't know what it is, but I feel like there's so many great things coming our way, and yeah, I can't wait to share that with you. But that is my little Q&A. I feel like I know I should probably do them a little more often. I have been thinking about doing lives because I feel like at that moment we can cook together, we can chat, you know what I mean? Just like a way for us to connect live. But let me know what you think on that as well. And don't forget, if you are on a weight loss journey, I have my meal plan linked in the description below. It's my ultra low carb meal plan. Walk you through it: breakfast, lunch, dinner, snacks, desserts, swaps, all of that. So if you or someone you know, friends or family that are starting a weight loss journey or kind of stuck, please share that with them because I know it will be super, super helpful. But other than that, thank you for being here with me and just chatting it up for a little. I'll get some more ideas on either Q&A, or this is like outside of cooking, obviously, or I might do my first little vlog. Give me some ideas on a vlog that you guys would want to see. And then I will, yeah, I'll take a few of the requests into consideration. But thank you so much for being here. I love you, and I'll see you on my next video. Mwah.